I look, man, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all like a goddamn dollar store. The opinions of other people are obstacles in the way from you ever achieving divine bliss. Yes, sir. Let me say that again. The opinions of other people are obstacles in the way from you ever achieving divine bliss. And you might be wondering, okay, man, how are they actually blocking me from this eternal goal of achieving divine bliss? Should I just never listen to anybody again? Should I just mute everybody's opinions? Relax, relax, because I'm going to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all, man. So the first thing you got to understand that we as humans, especially if you're a young man growing up right now from the age of 18, even all the way up to like 30, 35, you are super susceptible to shifting your view of the world to actually accommodate for the opinions of society, from the opinions of your family, your friends. You are still in a state like you were as a kid where your perspective on the world can be shifted and molded just like Plato. Not the Greek philosopher Plato, but the actual putty itself, Plato. So with that in mind, you have to be careful of what you allow into your internal environment, because whatever you allow into your internal environment will eventually accumulate and cultivate your external environment, your external perspective on this physical world. And the more bullshit that you add on, from wanting to please this person, please that person, please society, due to their opinions telling you which way you should navigate in life, the more you're blocking your own connection to your inner guide, your inner guru, and your inner self, aka the higher self, that knows where it needs to go in order for you to actually achieve the ultimate state of true joy and true happiness that can only be found internally within this world. That's the ultimate goal for each and every single one of us. Each and every spiritual tradition of time, each and every spiritual leader of time, each and every religious figure of time was still working towards that same goal. Self-realization, which brings about true self-joy, true self-happiness within this world of chaos. If you are unable to understand that, it's because you are letting the opinions of other people, the dogmas and the stigmas of others, not yourself, of others, dictate your life. Dictate the way you view the world, the way you view religion, the way you view spirituality, the way you view anything in life. You're never being your true self because you're always trying to appease somebody, whether you know it or not. And that's what I mean by the obstacles in the way from you ever achieving divine bliss is the opinions of others. So many of the time, like us men, like I'm being honest, like I'm being dead ass honest. Like I'm the type of person where I really don't give a shit what other people think. So when I am with some of my friends and people that I grew up with that are so in the opposite direction of letting the opinions of others dictate the way they move, the way they talk, the way they dress, the way they think, I'm like, man, you are cucking yourself from the inside out by being a slave to what society tells you. You're never truly putting your foot on the gas towards where you want to go in life. You're just following the leader, following somebody's tail. And when you follow somebody's tail, you're never going to pave your own trail. God damn, that's a bar. Write it down. If you are always following somebody's tail, you're never going to be able to pave out your own trail, pave out your own purpose towards your ultimate state of quote-unquote enlightenment, if you want to call it that. Self-realization, if you want to call it that. It's a very, very weird dichotomy where you know deep down that certain things aren't for you, certain things aren't supposed to be part of your life, but the opinions of other people, the hive mind of society, just gets you in a chokehold, just cranks your neck and makes you act in this way, act in that way, that you know deep down that your soul doesn't want to do, that you know deep down this isn't for you. All that stuff are just blockades. And the more you dive deeper into your own psyche, your own psychology, to be able to tap into your spirit and soul, because I've talked about before on this channel, psychology is a prerequisite for spirituality. If you understand the inner workings of your mind, you'll be able to understand the higher realms of reality, aka the spirit world, aka spirituality in general. If you're not doing that, you're always going to be stuck within that state where somebody can manipulate you and mold and shape your reality to whatever they want, aka the matrix, the Maya, the illusion. This is what they use because they understand you as a human being are still very close to your animalistic and ancestral origins. And let me drop y'all some game on that. We are social creatures. You see how some animals hunt in packs while other ones got the lone wolves, even though wolves hunt in packs. Like they got the loner just by himself, just doing his own thing. We're not like that. Humans aren't like that. Our species is not like that. We're social creatures at heart. The way we evolved and became, quote unquote, top of the food chain, top of the hierarchy within the animal kingdom, is that we understood how to survive and thrive in societies, clans, cults, tribes, and overall civilizations. And as we did that, we developed things within our mind and our psyche, our evolutionary psychology, to where we needed to be incongruent to be able to fit in with that society, fit in with the overall perspectives and the trajectory of where our tribe was going. So let me break it down. If you were in a tribe with 100 people, not too many people, but 100 people, and they have a specific type of faith, they have a specific type of diet, they have a specific type of way that they live their life, if your soul and your spirit back then was telling you, this isn't right for me, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, you risked the overall fear of being exiled from the community, being exiled from the society itself, left by yourself, stranded, alone, to fend off for yourself. So guess what? Your ego and your just overall mind and body has its own way of thinking. It wants to keep you safe because its goal is to survive and thrive on a base biological level. So with that in mind, if they knew that, okay, man, if you're going to be a dipshit jackass, that you're going to go against everything and this and that, we're going to manually shift your psychology to the point where you want to always feel like you're fitting in. You don't want to feel left out. You don't want to feel this dreadfulness of being alone, castrated, away from society. That became literally a part of our brain. And right now, in today's day and age, it's more important than ever that you understand that. Because why society, the matrix, the Maya, the illusion, social media, whatever you want to call it, is using that against you. So you always have these obstacles in the way from ever finding your true self. Because the only way you ever attain divine bliss that we talked about is by tapping into your true self. So guess what society is going to push? A bunch of degeneracy already that's going to block you from that point, but it's going to make it the popular mainstream thing to do, because again, they understand what's popular is what's going to be the overall perspective on the masses of society. The masses of society don't want to go against the grain. They don't want to go cause a revolution. They don't want to cause any of that shit because they still fear deep down psychologically that they're going to be left out, because it's an evolutionary trait. Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? This is some game for your motherfucking brain. You dig what I'm saying? This stuff is as prevalent as it is right now to this very day. So this is why I'm saying these are all obstacles in the way from you ever achieving divine bliss, because you will never know who you truly are, what you truly are, and what you were really brought here to do, what you were really brought here to accomplish. We're not here for no fucking random reason, bro, of just being like, oh man, I incarnated as human in this time period with these specific traits. I'm this tall, born in this family, born in this part of the world. That's not by fucking accident. I'm sorry if you believe that, but you were brought here for a bigger purpose. And it might be like, oh man, like that sounds a little too scary, a little too sketchy. Well, that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. Each and every single one of us, doesn't matter who you are, how much purpose you think you have, it was here for a bigger purpose than you can even comprehend. But your true self, your spirit, your higher self knows that goal, knows that path, and knows what you really need to do. You always conforming to the hive mind of society will never allow you to actually fully express those qualities that the divine blessed you with in order to help bless other people and activate and awaken their divine qualities. You'll never get to that point because you're always living in a state of fear, almost existential, dreadful fear of, oh, I'm going to be an outcast from society. I'm going to be this. This guy's thinking of that about me. That girl's thinking this. My parents think that. Like, you're just living a life to be accepted by other people. That's bullshit, man. That is so bullshit. And I'm here to tell you right now that the more you do that, the more it's going to build up and the less you're going to be fulfilled in your life. You might be accepted by everybody. Hey, man, that guy's the boss, the top G, the this, the that. Everybody thinks you're sick. Everybody thinks you're cool. Everybody's accepting you. Well, deep down, you feel unfulfilled in life. Why is that? Because you're not living in alignment to your true self, to your true calling, to your true purpose. And you'll never find that by living out a path that everybody else walks on. Each and every single one of us have a unique purpose, have a unique thing, but at the end of the day, it leads up to the same mountaintop, which is self-realization through self-mastery. However, the way you go about it is going to be completely different than the way I go about it. The way you go about it is going to be completely different from the way your friend goes about it. Yet, society puts everyone into a fucking box, 4 corners, 4 walls, and says, this is the only way you can succeed in life. Which is why I've talked about before on this channel, why 99% of men will always be complete failures, because they do not define their own version of success. They just follow the status quo of everybody else because they're getting abused by the obstacles in the way of achieving divine bliss, which is the opinions of other people, the opinions of society. This is why, in my opinion, I'm not telling you to do this, relax. The renunciates of society, the monks, the mystics, the sages, the sadhus, the gurus, whatever you want to call them, truly understood and broke the game of life. They're not playing the game of life, they've broke it completely. They have no attachments to these nonsensical, temporary illusions of what does this guy think? What does society think of me? What is this? What is that? No, they don't care about any of that. They're focused 100% towards their evolution in life. They're mostly their spiritual evolution, but of course you can take that same concept of a renunciate and take it to your mental evolution, your physical evolution, and your spiritual evolution. It doesn't have to just be that where you're meditating in a cave all day. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to do that. But what I'm saying is take that same perspective of they've eliminated all obstacles of society. Most of them, that's why they live out in these environments where they have no distractions holding them back from their ultimate goal. Reaching God, Christ, Krishna, Brahman, the Tao, Nirvana, all these things. You see it in each and every tradition. Each and every tradition has these renunciates on the esoteric path. Mystic Christianity has them. Sufism and Islam has these people. Of course, the sadhus, sages, and renunciates monks from the Buddhist traditions, the Hindu traditions, all these things. They renounce all the nonsensical bullshit things in the Maya, in the Matrix, in the illusion. Because they understand on a deep level, society will poison their perspective on what life is and what their goals are and what their purpose is. They know their purpose deep down to the point where they say, I don't care about anything else that anybody says. And it's not an arrogant thing, because those who understand this concept, if you're really picking up what I'm putting down, you are not getting You're not becoming so egotistical to the point where I know everything. I don't hear the opinions of other people. It's not that. It's you have been so connected to the intuition that is going to guide you to your purpose, to your main mission in life, that the other things around you do not even qualify for you to register as a proper sense of information. And again, you might be wondering, okay, well, why am I listening to you? I'm not telling you to go act in certain ways, behave in certain ways. I'm first of all documenting my own journey of self-mastery to attain self-realization on the mental, physical, and spiritual planes. And some of you guys gain benefit from this because I'm teaching you guys. I'm not even teaching you guys things. Again, I'm documenting things that I wish that I understood earlier. Some of you guys may pick it up. Some of you guys may not. Some of you guys might be enjoying this type of content. Well, most likely, if you're watching this far into it, you probably are, but some people are not. Doesn't click for them, by all means. But at the end of the day, all my goals is to give you guys certain tools, techniques, tips to find the answers that are within you. There's certain tools, tips, techniques, and just overall practices that are universal that get you to your core essence, your core source, which is where you'll find all the answers to get you to that point. I'm not here to tell you what is your career path, what you need to do, what your purpose is. I don't fucking know. And to be quite honest with you, I will never fucking know. I will never know. Doesn't matter how far I go on my semen retention streak or read spiritual books or work out and this. I don't know. Will never know. I barely know what I'm doing. But I know that I'm being guided by a higher source that's taking me one step here, one step there. And I understand that, okay, wow, if I'm doing this practice, doing that practice, that voice in my head, because I'm not trying to sound schizophrenic, but it might sound schizophrenic. We all got two voices in our head. Not the angel and the demon, not that. I'm talking about your lower self and your higher self. The more you fall into the lines of what society is telling you, all the degeneracy, all the nonsense that's numbing you from ever actually connecting to a higher source, the more that volume gets louder of what you need to do in your life. And those are the obstacles in the way. But the more you shut that down, and the more you kind of tap in and focus your energy, attention, and all that stuff inwardly through the practices that I'm saying are so powerful, the more this voice, the higher self, the intuition starts to increase. And guess what? You start understanding what you need to do in life better. You gain mental clarity, clarity of vision, clarity of focus, power of discernment, what is for you, what is not for you, the physical vitality to go out and do it. That's what we're tapping into. And that's what will show you the answers that nobody else can. This is knowledge that you'll not get in books, that you'll not get in videos, that you'll not get in podcasts, that you'll not get in lectures, seminars, or anything like that. This is GNOSIS, gnosis, knowledge that can only be accessed from within because it is emanating from your divine essence, from your divine spark, from your divine connection to the Almighty, the Supreme, whatever you want to call it, that you are a part of, that you are an emanation of. That's how you get to the real core and the real answers on how to navigate this plane of reality. Because again, this is temporary, this is an illusion, this is a dream for the time being. Might as well win the game, might as well break the fucking game like all these awakened sages, masters, mystics, monks. But do it in your own way. Do it with your own sauce. Do it with your own game. Don't follow nobody's lane. Pave out your own path. And the obstacles that are going to be in the way are slowly going to start to dissolve because they're illusions. The less you start listening to the opinions of others, the less these just overall obstacles are even going to be in that pathway. They just start to dissolve, vanish right before your very eyes. Like I'm telling you, you cannot underestimate your environment, man. Your internal environment and your external environment. Of course, the internal environment is the most important, but the external environment will kind of shift and mess that up too as well. So you have to put yourself in the right positions. And again, if you're watching this type of content, watching the stuff on the main channel, tapped into the private Patreon community. Shout out to the fucking private Patreon community. Come on, man. If you are truly serious about tapping into your highest potential on the mental, physical, and spiritual planes, I'm telling you, you're doing yourself, yes, yourself, a disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community, because within there, you get access to exclusive content where we're talking about these types of in-depth topics, but even going more in detail than you can even imagine, than you could truly even imagine. But along with that, you'll get esoteric libraries. You'll get in-depth occult lectures, full guides, and most importantly, if you tap into the Philosopher's Circle, aka the highest membership tier of the private Patreon community, you'll be able to tap into our inner circle group chat, and most importantly, the monthly masterminds, where we're doing 2 live calls a month where you hop on a call with me and a community of like-minded men who are also blocking off the bullshit, blocking off the obstacles that society, that the opinions of others are throwing at them in order to attain their highest potential, their true trajectory in life to become a self-mastered, self-realized man. I'm telling you, that is how you shift your environment towards your advantage. We just talked about how you can never underestimate it, so might as well use it towards your advantage. You want to be surrounded with people who are also thinking like this, who, again, we're not giving each other, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. We're giving each other advice, giving each other guidance, giving each other new perspectives on how to navigate this game of life. But at the same time, we're shutting off all the opinions of other people, because now we have a clan, a society, a tribe, just like how we talked about before, that is focused towards those higher goals. If you're surrounded by a community of people like you probably are within the modern world that just doesn't care about any of this shit, that doesn't notice any of this stuff, and you feel like an outcast, you feel like you need to fit in, so you just kind of put on this facade, put on this mask to fit in with society, you're never going to tap into your full potential. Guess what? We just broke that down. But when you actually use that evolutionary psychology towards your advantage, because it's something that's already ingrained within you, you cannot delete it. You just have to put yourself in the right positions to actually get a benefit from it. Then you surround yourself with a community of like-minded men who are also on that same journey, and just elevates and boosts you up to the highest potential. So if you're interested in stuff like that, man, check out the links posted in the pinned comment of this video, because you'll also find links to everything else that we provide here on Fulati Fitness with the Fulati, which is stuff like application forms to our personalized coaching program, booking links to one-on-one consultations, free community Discord server, weekly newsletters, all that good stuff, man. Post in the pinned comment of this video. Run it up, man. You do not want to be missing out on this. But like I was saying, if you tapped into this channel, the main channel, the private Patreon community, you might be working on with me one-on-one, booking some consultations. You already understand that what I'm saying is, again, it's a universal truth. And you understand how, look, man, I know this is the real thing. This is like the real truth. But man, it's that feeling of wanting to fit in, that want, that need, that evolutionary craving to be social with the type of society that we have is so, the pull is so strong that I can't seem to break out of it. I keep cucking myself spiritually by just following what everybody else says. And this is a good analogy that Sigmund Freud brought up, that I've talked about before on this channel, how you see how the earth revolves around the sun, and each year it gets closer and closer because the gravitational pull is pulling towards it. It's stronger. But also the earth rotates on its own axis. You are the earth. Your consciousness is the earth. The sun is the societal collective consciousness, the hive mind. In that pull for the earth to get closer and closer and eventually burn out from the sun. And what I mean by burnout, think of the symbology of that, the symbolism of that. Your consciousness gets burnt into the collective consciousness, into the hive mind. You become an NPC. You have no consciousness. NPC, they call it non-playable character, but what I'm trying to say, non-personable consciousness. Non-personal consciousness. You don't have your own individual thoughts. You just plugged into whatever everybody else say. So that pull to want to fit in with society is so strong that eventually it's going to pull you so much closer to the sun that you burn out and become part of the stardust within the sun. You lose your personal autonomy. But if you actually focus in on self-mastery, that is where the earth is rotating on its own axis. That you're focusing on developing and growing within your own internal evolution, your own internal intuition that's given to you by God. That's how the earth starts to rotate around its own axis. That's not as strong of a pull because society is going to get you closer and closer to that, eventually burn out. But you need to develop yourself to the point where you focus in your energy, attention, and all that good stuff towards yourself. Not in a selfish way, but understanding and uncovering who you truly are. No one really asks that. No one really asks, like, what am I really here for? TikTok, social media, porn, junk food, all that. It's just robbing your attention so you don't ask these types of questions. The greatest philosophers of time, the greatest innovators of time, these people were asking these questions. What the fuck even is all this? What is the reason for this? Is there even a reason? And everyone has their own perspectives on stuff like that, but you need to figure out your own. Don't follow my own philosophy. Don't follow my own philosophy. Come on now. But create your own. Take bits and pieces from all this stuff and then formulate your own. Create your own path, create your own vision, create your own purpose in life. That's how you get closer to your godly essence. Man created God in his own image. What is God? A creator. If you're in the image of that, you're a co-creator of your own reality. Come on now. You can't be like that if you just follow the obstacles and you get pushed back and just go back into your old ways due to the opinions of other people. You're literally cucking yourself. Not only is that going to hurt you, because you're never going to be fulfilled in life, you're never going to be on the path that you were meant for, but you're also going to be cucking everybody else's evolution, the collective consciousness of humanity's evolution. Because you are brought here to play a specific role, play a specific note, play a specific key within this song called the universe, universe. What the fuck was that? But hopefully you're picking up what I'm saying. Stop letting what other people think of you, what other people say is the right kind of path in life to just dictate whatever it is that you want to do. There's certain desires that are degenerate and there's certain desires that are divine. The more you dive into the degenerate desires, the more that voice in your head, like I said before, starts to increase. But the more you tap into your divine desires, the more that higher self voice increases. And inversely, the degenerate lower self side of you starts to decrease its volume. That's where you'll know where it is that you want to go. That's when you've cut out all the bullshit, cut out all the external noise, and focus in on your true essence, which has all the answers, which has that gnosis, which has that knowledge, which has that wisdom that you've been yearning for. Again, man, what I'm speaking on when it comes to this channel, the main channel, the private Patreon community, with the people I even work with one-on-one, whether it's in my personal coaching program or in consultation calls, I'm not telling them anything that I got the answers. I'm telling you right now, I do not get the answers. If you want to apply, if you want to be a part of the Patreon, if you want to book a consultation call, I don't got the answers. I'm working with you to uncover your answers. I'm not smarter than God, and you got the God within you. I'm not going to make myself think that, oh man, I know how to fix you, this and that. No, I'm giving you the tools, and we getting in there and actually breaking through all the bullshit. Just like how you would when you're remodeling a house. You got to break off all the bullshit. If you guys have done that before, it's pretty fun. I like doing it. So no wonder I like breaking down the bullshit and the barriers in the internal environment as well. I like doing that. It's fun doing that. Showing people what potential they truly hold. They've just been kind of cucked from it and holding it back. You need to demolish and destroy all the bullshit holding you back in order to build up bigger, better, and stronger, just like you would in the gym. You need to go in there, cause damage to your muscles where they have small micro tears, and eventually you rest, you recover properly, they become bigger, better, and stronger. You never do that because you are just conforming whatever society says, and eventually that's going to make your mind just harden up like clay to the point where it's hard to break through that. In order for you to really break through that, you will need even more force, more impact, more strength put onto the actual action itself. So stop letting this stuff grow more and more and more, and act upon it ASAP. ASAP, no Rocky. ASAP, no Ferg. ASAP, no Mob. ASAP, as soon as possible. That's how you really will be able to tap into your highest potential, man. It's not because you do this practice, do that practice. No, the practices themselves are tools to be able to get you to your core. Semen retention, spiritual practices, even working out, psychology, all that stuff are all tools to get you closer and closer to your core essence. Peel back the layers of yourself just like an onion and get to the actual core. Once you get in the core, man, all the answers are there. Then all you have to do is connect the internal environment on over to the external environment, because like I've talked about before, that naturally happens since the universe wants equilibrium. Whatever you are operating on, whatever frequency, whatever vibration, whatever energetic emissions that you are operating on internally will be what will be reflected out to you externally, because the universe doesn't want you to be operating at your lower self and to give you the higher rewards of someone who's actually tapping into the higher self. It just doesn't work. Oil and water, they don't mix. But when you tap into your higher self by actually going and uncovering yourself from the inside, your outside world will eventually meet up with that and connect. And funny enough, it'll match perfectly, just like a match made in heaven. Come on now, come on. It's Benny Boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out that game so you guys can make these gains. And I'm out here. Peace.